The celestial archive floated in the void between galaxies, a structure so ancient that even the eldest races whispered its name with reverence. Built by the predecessors beings who had transcended physical form eons ago. It contained every language, every script, every utterance ever spoken in the known universe. But there was one section that remained forbidden, sealed behind barriers of crystalline energy that pulsed with divine power. The vault of the first tongue. Willow pressed her palm against the cold metal wall of the human delegation's quarters, staring out at the swirling nebula beyond. 3 months they'd been here, 3 months of diplomatic talks with the Galactic Council, and still humanity was treated like children, stumbling into a room full of scholars. "You're brooding again," Logan said, entering with 2 cups of synthetic coffee. His dark eyes held that familiar glint of mischief that had gotten them through worse situations. Then bureaucratic condescension. "I'm contemplating," Willow corrected, accepting the cup. "There's a difference. Contemplating how to tell Ambassador Thixcal that his tentacles are showing when he calls us primitives." Despite herself, Willow smiled. The Vexian ambassador had made no secret of his disdain for humanity's recent rival. To the galactic stage, humans had only achieved faster-than-light travel 20 years ago. Most council species had been starfaring for millennia. A chime echoed through their quarters. Logan answered the door to find a Colossian monk, its translucent form shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that indicated distress. Humans Logan and Willow. The monk's translator rendered its melodic tones into flat English. "The archive. Something has awakened it. You must come." They followed the monk through corridors lined with data crystals containing the collected knowledge of 10,000 civilizations. Other species rushed past Vexians, Vorlons, the insectoid Creshall converging on the archive's central chamber. The scene that greeted them defied explanation. The vault of the first tongue, sealed for longer than any living being could remember, blazed with golden light. Symbols crawled across its surface like living things, rearranging themselves into patterns that hurt to perceive directly. "What's happening?" Willow asked. High Keeper Zarnixus, a being of pure energy contained within a geometric shell, turned toward them. "The impossible." The vault responds. After 4 billion cycles of silence, the first tongue speaks, the language of the predecessors. Logan breathed. He'd read about it during their journey here, the mythical tongue that supposedly contained the building blocks of reality itself. Every council species had scholars who devoted lifetimes to studying the few fragments that existed outside the vault. None had ever succeeded in translating more than single words. "Ambassador." Thixcal slithered forward, his translator collar glowing. "This is clearly a malfunction. The archive's systems are ancient." The vault pulsed, and a holographic projection materialized above it. Lines of text scrolled through the air, written in characters that seemed to exist in more dimensions than the eye could follow. The assembled dignitaries fell silent. "It's asking a question," one of the Colossian monks whispered. "A query in the first tongue. Can anyone read it?" Willow asked. "ZA." Our single quotes Nexus's geometric form rotated slowly. The first tongue was spoken only by the predecessors and the divine beings they communed with. It is said that to speak it is to shape reality itself. No mortal race has ever. Logan's sharp intake of breath cut through the explanation. Willow turned to find him staring at the holographic text, his face pale. "Logan, I can read it," he said slowly. "Not all of it, but significant portions." The chamber erupted in disbelief. Thixcal's tentacles writhed in agitation. "Preposterous. The human mocks us." "Let him speak," Zarnixus commanded. Logan moved closer to the projection, his eyes tracking the flowing script. "It's asking, what beings dare approach who carry the echo of the first world within their very structure?" He paused, frowning. "The grammar is similar to Proto-Indo-European, but the syntax..." He shook his head. "There are elements of Sumerian here, and ancient Sanskrit, and..." Willow felt something click in her mind. The fragments of Earth's oldest languages, the linguistic roots that scholars had traced back millennia, always hitting walls where the trail went cold. "Logan, what if the first tongue isn't alien at all?" He finished. "What if fragments of it survived on Earth, evolved into our oldest languages?" The implications hung in the air like a thunderclap. Around them, council members exchanged shocked glances. The predecessors had seeded Earth. Humanity descended from the same stock as the divine architects. Impossible, Thexcal hissed, but his voice lacked conviction. Willow stepped forward, her mind racing through every ancient text she'd studied, every dead language her archaeology background had touched. If Logan was right, if human languages contained echoes of the first tongue, she began to speak, drawing from the deepest wells of Earth's linguistic history, weaving together Sumerian, Sanskrit, Old Egyptian, Proto-Germanic. The words felt strange on her tongue, but they felt right. The vault responded, its light intensifying. Anchi Umas Nar Kingir, she said, the syllables resonating in a way that made the air vibrate. We are from Earth. The vault erupted in radiance. The barriers dissolved, and for the first time in 4 billion years, the secrets within began to pour forth. But it wasn't chaotic. The knowledge streamed directly toward Willow and Logan, recognizing something in them, in their DNA, in the very structure of their language. Zarnix's voice held something that might have been all. The archive acknowledges them, it calls them inheritors. Images flooded Willow's consciousness. The predecessors hadn't transcended, they'd scattered, seeding promising worlds across the universe, waiting for their distant children to evolve and return. Earth had been one such seed world, isolated, forgotten, left to develop naturally, and humanity, the youngest and most dismissed species in the council, carried within them the genetic and linguistic legacy of gods. Logan turned to the stunned assembly, a grin spreading across his face. So, Ambassador Thexcal, about those primitive humans you were dismissing. Thexcal said nothing. None of them did. The archive continued to illuminate, responding to the presence of the first beings in eons, who could speak the language of creation itself. And Willow realized that humanity's journey had not been one of arriving at the galactic stage. It had been one of coming home,